Brimley. Diabetes.
Wilfred Brimley.
Dude, he's alive. I'm serious. He's like the last one that's alive.
He's got to be dead.
How's the guy that always spouting off about diabetes, the one still alive from Cocoon? Even Ron Howard's probably dead.
Okay, well, no, he's not.
Did you Google
his
it?
hair. Lost his hair.
I'll Google it. All right, go ahead. Hit live. Shit,
we've been live.
You're up.
All right.
You're on the spot.
So Jess and I have a bet going right now. Is the diabetes guy, what's his name again? Wilfred
Brimley.
Is he alive or dead? I think he's alive. Jess says he's dead. Whoever is wrong, whoever's wrong gets to take his shirt off during the show. I'm a betting man, Jess. I don't mess around, brother.
Holy smoke. I had no idea going into this. That was the deal.
All right, I'm going to...
Jess might keep doing that.
That's not funny. All right, let me... what's a reliable source?
The internet.
Bleeding Cool.
Yikes. As if those guys don't get enough.
Oh, shit. Jake Forgerelli says he's alive.
All right, Jess. Take it off.
Wait a minute. I want to Google this myself.
Are you serious? You don't... Dude, if you can't trust me or people on the chat, then...
Wilfred Brimley.
He is alive. Diabetes, dude. I'm serious. Why would I lie to you?
It says he has type 2 onset diabetes.
He was born in 1934. Holy shit.
Dude, why aren't you dead yet?
Guys, that's not that old. Like,
that's nearly really not that old, dude.
Oh, damn it. I think he's alive. Why aren't you dead?
Damn it,
there is no thing.
We're going to see some silver.
He is still alive. He, for real, got into the cocoon water.
Wait, when was he born? 1934. Okay, so he's not that old.
No, he's old. That's old.
83? Was that 93? 83.
83.
So when Cocoon was made, he was like in his 50s.
Right, he just looked old. Is that what we're going to talk about today, Cocoon? Best old people movies. Driving Miss Daisy. Dibs on that one. Fried green tomatoes, sort of.
Fried green
I'm not going to do that. All right, guys. What are we going to talk about? What are we talking
about? We could talk about hauls and reads and some kind of topic.
Okay.
And we've already got a thread that says, if any of you take your shirts off, I'm leaving.
Oh, what? Seriously?
We're gonna lose viewers if I take
Wait. Last time I took my shirt off, it was like the highest rated episode ever.
All right. So let's do it. Who wants to go first? What's with the hauls?
I have a very small haul, so why doesn't somebody go with a more than one book haul go?
How about we introduce ourselves?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is OmniDog, the Silver Fox, Jess Bragg, speaking to you from the Omnibroslive show, Monday. Halls, Reads, Wilfred Brimley, we cover it all. I'm here with Gabe Infinity Watch.
Yo, what up, everybody? Oh, man. Welcome, everybody in the chat. I'm glad to see everybody here.
From Near Mid Condition, we've got Omar, the betting man.
Hey, guys. I am the big Cocoon fan, so that's why I'm here. How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you for joining us on this fine Monday
with
evening.
An extremely impressive collection of robots behind him.
Yeah, man. The ladies love the giant robots. You know, that was a deal. That always sealed the deal when I brought them down to my mom and dad's basement, and they saw that.
If you can't get paid, a room full of Transformers, never gonna.
I'm pretty sure it was always the same. Oh Jesus, I made a mistake.
How do I get out of this basement?
Which one of these is his dildo?
So yes, thank you for having me, guys. I guess it's been a couple weeks since the three of us got together.
Yeah, I think it was just Gabe and me last week. But we got
No, you and Omar. I was sick last week. I was sitting on the toilet, squirting out of both ends.
Was it me and you? I know I did an episode with Luis. You did an episode with Luis. Then you were on like every day last week, Jess. You were OmniBros Live.
I've had a busy schedule. Yeah, I did a bunch this weekend too.
Yeah, and then you did that live show with Farrah by yourself, or on your channel, not on OmniBros. I was like, where's the show at? I thought it was on OmniBros.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about it.
I did too.
I needed content for my channel.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I put up a video last night of my my last haul for 2017 because it's been a while. I skipped November. I didn't do a November haul, so I had to do a December haul. That's
right. I saw that.
Yeah, work has been super busy. Shit, dude. Everybody was sick during the holidays, and then I got sick, and then like that's craziness.
Yeah, I was doing a lot this weekend too, and I did a lot last week. But I can't. When did you and I talk Thursday, Gabe? When we got like 150 questions, we were like answering questions till midnight.
No, that's wrong. Latino. That was Luis.
No, that was me. That was the last time me and Justice.
Don't you dare accuse me of that. I can tell the difference.
I know my Latinos.
I don't think you all look alike. I don't think you're the king of the jungle.
That's why he keeps a hat on Gabe. He keeps me with a beard. I'm on the.
Well, that was you and I. That's the last time we did a show together. Yeah, we were like, we got like 1 billion questions, man. It was great.
Yeah, it was really great.
And that was after doing our hauls and our reads and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I think that was last Monday because that was New Year's Day, and Omar, you had to get your daughters ready for school, so I think that was.
Oh yeah, you're
Monday.
right. That was a Monday. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was like the day before school started, so I was doing the responsible adult thing.
Right.
You know, I have my moments.
Well, I mean, I can give you my haul. It's one book.
What'd you haul, man?
I hauled the deluxe edition of Camelot 3000.
Brian Boland.
Yeah, nice. I was just looking through some of my really old things, and I noticed that I had the trade paperback of this that I got back in the, I don't know, 88 or whenever it came out. And I thought there's probably a better edition with nicer paper and bigger, I can appreciate the Brian Boland illustrations more. So I just found this on the internet for not much money, way less than cover price, and decided I needed it.
I love that John Bolton cover.
Now,
awesome.
I don't know if I told you guys this, but did I tell you guys that I found out Brian Boland is like 90% blind now?
I think you did tell us that. That is heartbreaking.
It is, man. That's rough.
I hate to hear that, man. That's sad. Don Rosa is kind of like that too. He's not that bad though. He still draws sketches and stuff like that. Boland's artwork was just, man. I mean, to me, he's always been the Killing Joke.
Mm-hmm.
Without him, like that's sad. I hate to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, I hate hearing that stuff too because I know like George Perez. Eyesight went really bad for a little bit because of his medical issues. I heard JMS had like really bad eyesight too for a while, where he like just couldn't see a computer screen anymore or something.
Straczynski?
Yeah, Straczynski. Yeah. I mean, we were looking for guests. We were calling around. We have a plug at the store for getting all these guests, and we were like, let's see if we can get Brian Boland. And they were like, he's like 90% blind now, so he doesn't really do anything.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
Yeah, I know. It's one of the saddest things. We all looked at each other. We all just kind of just like had the really sad puppy dog eyes, just thinking about losing what art he could be creating right now because of his illness or whatever he's going.
It's sad to think about it because it's also, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think about artists ever aging, really. Like to me, these people will always stay the same because of their art. I know it's a really weird way to think, but I don't think about these things until like, oh hey, did you hear like Mike Waringo died. I was like,
yeah,
what? that guy was so young. How did this happen?
And that happened out of nowhere too. That wasn't like, I mean, not to like, not shed proper lighting on Michael Turner dying, but we all kind of knew he had like a really bad, cancer issue going on. But Michael Ringo was just one day just didn't wake up or something apparently, and that sucks.
Yeah,
because to me, when an artist dies, like when we lost like Steve Dillon, or when we recently lost like Darwin Cook, like not only do we lose like really great people, but we lose, whatever artwork they could have produced too. That's always super sad.
Absolutely.
So that's why everybody, when you go to conventions, hit up those old time artists that those old time creators whose names but you not might be super familiar with their work, but just give them a thank you. You don't need to have anything signed for them, but you can just walk over and just thank them. So you have that opportunity to say that you shook their hand, because they could be gone the next day.
Yeah. So
and now
that was a good haul. Did you read it?
I read it back in the day, but I haven't read it yet. It's still in its plastic. I just got it today. I haven't got my IST order yet. God damn it.
Be careful there, Jeff.
Maybe right. You should start. Maybe you should start a post.
Yeah, right.
On the Facebook. Where's my order?
I don't think
holidays,
so.
Man.
I've noticed that now that we're getting, we're getting a lot more of those. 2 days ago, how come I haven't got it yet? Kind of sign up. And the new people, I see a lot of veterans doing that kind of stuff still.
What did you get, Omar? What did you haul, Omar?
Well, my stuff finally came in from the holidays and things like that. So I sat back and read this. This is a walk down memory lane. I love this book. I just did a overview of it, explaining what it is and if you need to buy it or not on my channel. So shameless plug. It's the collection of classic X-Men. Regardless of when they change the title to X-Men Classics later on, it still will always be classic X-Men to me. So it's got beautiful backup stories by Chris Claremont and John Bolton, and the Senti, Fabian Nicieza. Jim Lee even does one of the stories in here. So it's his first X-Men work. So, did you guys pick this up, or do you even know what it is?
I know what it is. I'm just not that ingrained in Claremont X-Men for that to really appeal to me right now.
I picked it up and I want to read it.
Outside of the iconic Art Adams cover, I had that poster above my bed as a kid.
Yeah, I did too.
That's about the only affinity I have for that so far.
Yeah, I got it, and I want to read it alongside the stories it goes with.
Yeah, it's awesome, and they put a lot of work into this. Props on my review. So the best way, keeping it short, the best way I could describe it is like watching a director's cut of like Aliens compared to like the theatrical release of Aliens. How much better and how much the director's cut of Aliens added to that movie. Claremont and Bolton did with this. Like, it's so good and so essential to fleshing out the characters. That's one of the ones that I have to say I never saw that one coming.
Yeah, it's a pretty exciting book, I think. I want to read it alongside the other books too. I know that they've put a lot of effort into it, making it so that can you read it standalone, or is it better to read it with the other Claremont book?
I suggest not reading it standalone. It's it just doesn't make any sense, because they do an amazing job of like telling you, hey, this story takes place here, but this is the really cool part that I thought was awesome. This is the kind of stuff I showed off on my review, is that they also included the panel by panel, like the script that was changed and why they changed it.
I like that kind of stuff. That's totally cool right there.
So the reason a lot of it was changed was because to hide the years, like instead of giving a specific year or like during a certain time, to make the X-Men seem more timeless. But yeah, if you were reading that, you'd be like, none of this makes any sense to me. I guess I know who these characters are. No, I definitely suggest reading at least X-Men Omnibus Volume 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's all you really need to read, and then go back and read this because it's a wonderful. Like all the stories later on will make so much more sense. Like the relationship between characters, because a lot of it felt like it just came out of nowhere without reading these. Like the whole relationship between Storm and Jean, or the whole love triangle of Scott, Logan, and Jean, just kind of almost came out of nowhere in those books. But it's these backup stories that really tell you how it kind of all began. So I think
it's pretty much a companion to the other Claremont Omnibus, huh?
Yeah, it absolutely is. Yeah. Okay. So if you like those, you should definitely get this. And then I picked and this finally came in.
Yes.
So excited. One more box, baby. And then we're done with the Don Rosa collection. We will have every single thing for the first time in America. That's awesome.
Yeah. I want to get the rest of those Claremont X-Men Omnibus. I have volume 2, but that's one of the ones that the binding is starting to come apart on it. That was something you guys about earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's no good.
I don't know. Yeah, that sucks. I don't know why that's happening in my books, but it is what it is.
That is really awful that they're starting.
Yeah, dude.
That's really awful.
It's like 6-7 books. Just like, it's not bad. They're not like coming apart, but it's like here's my Uncanny X-Men. I don't know if you could see it, but like it's starting to separate from the ribbon a little bit. And that's like, I found a handful of books that were like that. I don't know. Nothing big, not like my Annihilation or anything like that. But I mean, I could get all the books over again, but that just sucks balls. Or I'll just go re-glue. I'll just do the whole gluing trick, or the whole gluing tutorial somebody has, and I'll just follow that. I'll live.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my Fantastic Fours are like that too. That's what sucks. But no biggie.
Yeah, there are tutorials out there how to do it. At least I've seen a lot of those tutorials, like on the Marvel Masterworks site. It's where the old school guys hang out, and they show you how to fix books like the old school way. Out there, Gabe. And I think somebody made a video too on how to fix them.
If there isn't, I'll make a video on myself when I get around to doing it.
There's a pinned post on the Omnibus, or up in the files. There's a whole thing on how to do it, including the video, I think.
Cool. So what did you guys read now that we talked about hauls?
You didn't talk about my haul? Jesus.
What'd you call there, Gaberino?
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I was totally skipping.
I see how it is. Jesus.
You said you had a whole haul video recently, man.
Yeah.
I thought you were just telling people to watch it.
That was nothing from current. But like I said in the chat, we were talking about, I don't have a lot. It's just one book, but it's kind of a whalette. I finally got a copy of X-Men Second Coming. This is a book I've been looking for a while now. It was pretty hard to find for some reason. Not super expensive or anything. But I love, this is like one of my favorite recent X-Men kind of event crossovers.
Do you like the whole Messiah trilogy?
Yeah. I really like the Messiah trilogy stuff. I really just like this portion of it the best, with Second Coming. Just like, this is the whole thing that happened with Nightcrawler and the Vanisher, and just, the whole thing with Hope that unfortunately really didn't go much with, it seemed like. Because all this stuff, including like Extinction, to me at the time seemed like that was leading up to what was eventually supposed to be Avengers versus X-Men. But then Avengers versus X-Men seemed to really just take a different approach to that. I really thought it was going to be a fight over Hope. But either way, this is a great book. I'm pumped to get it, and I'm going to have to crack it open soon. Read the
Where'd
story.
You find it?
At the store.
Nice.
Part of that collection that we got, so I picked it up from there.
Like you went fishing in your own backyard and you were able to find a book you were missing. That's cool.
It happens. There's a Messiah complex there too. I might pick up later.
Well, the Messiah complex is what kicks it off. That and then the Messiah War, but that's just a crossover between Cable and X-Force.
Yeah, that cable series back then with like the bad guy Bishop kind of storyline.
Yeah, I didn't.
You know,
did you like it? Well, I'm just very.
It got really redundant. It just was over and over again.
No. I think if it had been anybody else, I would have dug it. It was very Lone Wolf and Cub. I appreciated the story. I just hated the idea of making Bishop a bad guy. It made no fucking sense.
Again though, remember, because he was always had this really bad relationship because he thought Gambit was like the ex-traitor.
Yeah.
Pointing his guns in the wrong direction and stuff like that.
I've always, I'm very picky when it comes to my X-Men stories, and something like that can just throw me off. I've read the whole thing, but like I said, I like the approach. I like the idea of like a Lone Wolf and Cub where he just takes this little girl and raises her for no reason. I guess at the time we all thought it was the reincarnation of Jean, but that proved to be a little different.
Or even just a reincarnation of, I think what she turned out to be like the first newborn mutant. So that was kind of the whole thing. And then
that was a big deal.
I thought that was that and the Hope stuff and like the Avengers Crusade really seemed to be what was going to lead up to Avengers versus X-Men. But when Avengers versus X-Men finally came out, it was just like this random story of them just fighting each other.
Yeah, the little random miniseries with Cable. Was it Sanction?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was so stupid. Like it made no sense. I'm here to fight everybody instead of just telling you guys, hey, the Phoenix is coming.
Be cool,
I know you probably like it because it's so 90s. It's so 90s when good guys.
I own original artwork from that series.
Wait, it's McGinnis, right? So
it's McGinnis, yeah. It's a really cool page.
It's Jeff Loeb and Ed McGinnis, just red hulking X-Men.
Well, I really thought that was going to be like the linchpin, like that was going to be like the turning point for Avengers versus X-Men, but none of that stuff mattered when AVX finally happened.
Right. AVX
came out. That would be a better storyline where they had legitimate reasons to hate the X-Men because of Cable, but that all just kind of just never really developed past that series.
Yeah, that would require like writers and editors talking to each other. I don't think Marvel's done that in years.
Hey, this is fascinating, but I got to answer a question for Jordan Fanatic before he makes a mistake. The answer is Green Lantern Omnibus #1 from Jeff Johns, Jordan.
What was the question?
What he should spend his money on. He's only got a certain amount of money. He's buying Gotham Central, and then he had several other
choice.
Options, and I think the clear winner is Jeff Johns' Green Lantern #1.
No. It's going to be Batman Nightfall.
Don't listen to him, Jordan. He's messing with him.
I don't know. I happen to like JSA, but that's my pick. JSA a little bit better.
No, you can't go wrong with Jeff Johns' Green Lantern. Yeah.
Any Jeff Johns run is solid. His Flash run, his Green Lantern, Hawkman, and like I said, the aforementioned JSA. I think JSA was probably my favorite though.
Anyone have any thoughts on Secret Wars Battle World box set? Is it worth the price? Only if you can get it half off.
Don't let Gabe answer that.
Yeah, no. Secret Wars, not Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, Secret Wars.
Yeah, Secret Wars was released like a couple years ago.
Yeah, way to throw me under the bus, Omar.
I know you're excited about one of those silly box sets that are going for $500.
Infinity box set is not silly, dude. That thing is badass.
Yeah, all right, that's cool, dude.
That Infinity War thing is gonna be the shit.
So if you can get it for half off, it's worth it because it's really cool, but it's not worth $500.
It's the old Secret Wars stuff, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
because it includes Secret Wars 1, 2, the Fantastic Four issues, and then all the. What else does it include?
The Thing. I mean, I could go over to mine.
You got it.
All the little tie-ins.
Yeah, but even all the tie-ins were all in the omnibus.
At least in Secret Wars 2, Spider-Man teaches the Beyonder how to take a poop.
That's right.
Dude, that New Mutants Secret Wars 2 though, I remember reading that as a kid. That was some creepy shit.
Marvel Superheroes Secret War to Battlefield and Back, Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars, Thing Battle World, Secret Wars 2 Volume 1, Secret Wars 2 Volume 2, Secret Wars 2 Volume 3, Secret Wars 2 Volume 4, Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars Aftermath, Secret War, Beyond the Secret Wars, and Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars Behind the Scenes. And let's see if I can show what it looks like.
Dang, did they use the word Secret Wars enough in that?
Yeah, it's all about Secret Wars.
It does have Secret Wars 3, right? The Fantastic Four issues.
That might be what's
I
in
assume.
Thing.
That's a cool box set, though. I mean, just the artwork on it and everything is cool.
Is it showing up?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Jess. I think that guy left the room a couple of minutes ago, though.
Yeah, because he's gonna go buy Batman Nightfall. That's why.
There was some blatant calumny in here. Who said that? Attack on Louis. Didn't you say in your last stream that you liked Nightfall, Jess? That is absolute calumnies and prevarications.
Wow, bringing out the $4 words there. With your allegations and allegories.
Yeah, I mean, forget that noise.
Got
Got Matt Miranda. What's up, dude?
What up, Matt?
And there's Matt Make Havoc. Always love having him here.
Yo, what up, Steve?
And Ricardo Drummond.
Yeah,
Nightfall
the same
stuff.
group of the crazy chat people in here as always, which is great. Jimmy, Toga, Kenneth, Drummond art. I don't think I've seen Drummond in here in a little bit, and that's probably not how you say his name.
Where's my boy John P?
Yeah, John P's not yelling in the chat.
Yeah, I was
he
gonna
got
say.
frozen on his bike in the middle of Cleveland somewhere.
Jordan Fanatic, don't you dare buy Nightfall.
Buy it. Buy them both. Buy them both on in-stock trades.
Josh Reed, there's a good guy. What's up, Josh?
Buy them.
So yeah, this is what the live stream is like. You get to see a lot of Jess's backside when he's looking for books.
Yeah.
So, that's a plus.
Yeah, we should be seeing his front side more.
Yeah, buddy.
What's that?
The whole Wilford diabetes still alive.
Well, there was a threat that people were going to leave the chat if I took off my shirt. Question: have any of us read the new Batman and Robin Omnibus? I read it in singles and
so
loved
good.
it. Yeah,
I
loved
absolutely
it.
love it.
I
It's
read
a-
the first couple of singles when it was coming out, and I didn't like it. But I'm hearing it's still really good.
But you also have to keep in mind, Gabe also likes Nightfall, so there's that. I happen to like both Nightfall and Batman and Robin.
And
So
manga, so there you go. And you're not perfect.
the fact that you call it manga, something's wrong with you, buddy. No, Batman and Robin is fucking awesome, dude. I love
really
that
is.
book. It was one of those books that I passed on as it was coming out on New 52 because I just had way too many titles to keep up with. But when they released this on me, I'm like, oh, perfect. I'll just read it that way because I only read a handful of stories, and I loved it. That I think I got a little teary-eyed in that issue. The aftermath of Batman Inc. Was it 10? After Damian kind of, dies. I guess we could talk about that because it's kind of
What?
a non-spoilerish because it happened 6-7 years ago. Yeah, that aftermath was it was pretty rough to read. But hey, no worries, Damian's back, so there's that.
Do you guys have that omnibus? Did any of you guys get it?
Yeah, it's right here.
I've been seeing a lot of things on the forum about it being like the dust jacket comes ripped or the binding's super tight.
Yeah, mine.
Like it's a big book, but it's like glued binding or something. They're saying
The binding is tight. I think I talked about that when I first got it.
It comes with a weird mark on it.
See, I'm a real omnibus collector because I actually open mine and read it. Oh, I'm sorry, Jess. I didn't see that yours was still sealed. My bad.
You can just automatically assume mine all are.
Yeah,
OmniDog my ass. Hey guys, I'm gonna do a quick review of a book I still have sealed. Let me Google this motherfucker. Anyway,
I was just gonna. I said I read it first of all in singles, so I read the goddamn thing.
Well, you can't talk about the binding, can you? It's still sealed.
No, I was gonna let you do that.
Oh yeah, the binding is tight.
Yeah, calm down, Omar. All Jess is saying is it comes with a special edition mark on the cover.
I haven't seen you assholes in a couple of weeks, so I got to give you all shit. That's not really doing it justice. Like it opens up pretty good, but I mean, it's it's not like your normal like Omnis.
That's about as tight as the first.
Yikes. But it's because it's such a big book too. That's why. Like, but I think it's well worth it. I love this book. I love this run.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a wonderful, wonderful series, and it's the same team that's working on Superman now. So I'm also enjoying that book. That book was one of those I didn't expect it to be so damn good, and I fell in love with it.
Kenny Crayley is asking several times, so I think we better ask it before he has a stroke. I hope we get a Superman by Jeff Johns, Superman by Dan Jurgens, and Superman by John Byrne omnibus releases based on the next Man of Steel movie being released. He's wondering if we think those things have a chance.
I have no fucking idea why they have not released those yet. And here's the thing that irks me, right? We have the Death and Return of Superman, right? We have Wonder Woman by George Perez, volumes 1, 2, and 3 coming. Which is the perfect post-crisis starting point. Why the hell don't we have a John Byrne Man of Steel Omni 1 and 2? That's insane to me. Because we have an Superman Exiled Omnibus coming out here in the next month or two. And, it's after John Byrne had left, but it's also before Panic in the Sky and The Death and Return of Superman. So I'm not sure if DC is even mapping this stuff out at all. Or maybe they are. Maybe they're like, okay, we got 5 Omnis in total that are gonna fit before Death and Return of Superman and after Crisis on Infinite Earth. Because in my head, that's what I do in my head. I map out these things. I'm like, okay, we'll approximately 6 Omnis probably.
Yeah. No, I know. I hear what you're saying because they got all those like golden age like omnibus out, but nothing like from the more like last 25 years worth of stuff. There's still a lot of stuff out there. But at the same time, they have, like you said, like Death of Superman. They have they're starting to put out the Kyle Rayner stuff from after Death of Superman, but really nothing before any of that. So I would like to see more of that.
Kyle Rayner?
Yeah, Kyle Rayner's got his not an omnibus, but it's still like a big fatty trade paperback. So they're producing that stuff. Yeah, it's Green Lantern. It's called the Green Lantern Kyle Rayner.
Well, they have a Superman. Remember, they have a Superman Blue trade coming out soon.
Ooh, that's cool.
Superman Blue who?
That's cool. I like the Superman Blue stuff.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually custom binding those. I'm an idiot, just like you.
The whole triangle era of Superman, I really liked.
Dude, I do too. I don't know why they're so shitty though. They are so shitty. Some of them, not all. Dan Jurgens stuck with it for a long time. But anyway, to answer your question, they have the material. It's all been collected in trade paperback format. All they got to do is slap 4 of those trade paperbacks together to make an omnibus. That's shit. That's easy money.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they have not. That's an excellent question.
They're doing a 0-hour hardcover of all things as well.
Yeah, that's one of those books that people hate on. Like I said, the only reason I liked the 0-hour crossover was because it brought my JSA back. So I was happy with that.
Did you see that they put out that 14-minute marketing video that they sent out to comic book stores back when 0-hour was first coming out?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
What did you guys read this week?
I'll let you guys go first since I kind of took over that question about Superman Omni.
No,
I'll
it's
go
fine.
real quick, just because I've been sick and things with work and the kids. I'm still reading through the Batman Rebirth hardcover. I'm still reading
The
through
Tom
that.
King one?
The Tom King stuff, yeah. I didn't get a lot reading when I was sick. I just did a lot of sleeping.
I don't know about you guys. I can't read when I'm sick. I usually have
neither.
to. I have to watch TV. I can't even play video games. I'm such a baby. Like
No,
I
when
can't play.
I'm sick, dude, I just destroy myself on NyQuil and watch just random ass cartoons until I pass out, and then I just sleep it all off.
I definitely binge watch so much shit, and sometimes I kind of look forward to a sick day where I could just sit at home and watch, stupid shit that I normally wouldn't watch 30 episodes of.
I was able to finish almost the entire. I'm completely caught up almost with Riverdale. I love that show. That's a great show.
So shout out to my boy Tyler Blount for Super Squad D. He loves that shit.
Oh, well, Brother Man's got good taste because that's a great show.
Yeah, I think I would like it more. Like maybe if I was like a 15-year-old girl. Like so.
No, you'll like it, dude. Like, it's really.
I'm
it's
kidding.
really
I'm busting your balls. I actually like that show. I saw the first few episodes. It's definitely has that CW quality to it.
Sure. I mean, all the guys are really attractive, and all the girls are really attractive. It goes a little bit more beyond that because I mean, I was watching it just because I thought Veronica was amazing looking, and I was being a little perv about that. But it's actually I got into the story.
Yeah, you and every other guy.
Yeah, she's a knockout.
Yeah, dude, she's gorgeous.
And what did you read there, Omar?
Guys, I caught up on all the X-Men. I can actually answer your question now, Jess. I did it just to answer your stupid question that you ask every week.
Is Professor X still dead?
I don't know. I can't answer that. No, I'm kidding. He is sort of back, and I kind of wanted Riley here to talk about this because I know he's currently reading the stories.
But it's interesting how they're doing it, though. I'm a little caught up. I know what's going on. I know how they're doing it.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of. It reminds me a little bit of the way that X-Men. The only thing I remember about X-Men 3 was the after credit ending where Professor Xavier had put himself in someone else's body. So the Shadow King and Professor X's minds have been having this psychic war with each other for the last 6 issues. Apparently, taking Professor X's brain didn't really take out like his psyche, or I don't know, whatever. X-Man science, sure. So they have a psychic war for 6 issues, and Professor X wins. It's like a chess game. And he makes a deal with, do you know Phantom X is?
Yeah.
Okay. So he makes a deal with him.
I love Phantom X.
And they good news, bad news. They switch. Like he stays in the psychic plane, and Professor X is now here in Phantom X's body, and he just wants to be known as X. That's where we are. We're 7 issues in. It's the last one I read was 7 issues, and he's just telling all his X-Men, hey, it's me. And then Betsy Psylocke is like, oh yeah, it's definitely It's definitely Professor X. It feels like Professor X in my head. And yeah, that's where we are.
We have Phantom X, but he's got Professor X's brain in his head.
Correct. Well, yes. His psyche.
Yeah.
Psyche. Okay. Right. Okay, I got it. Okay, good. So Professor X is back.
Sure. Yeah. In a young man's body. He gets to relive all his life again. And he's walking for now. And I've read this is what I wanted to talk to Riley about. I read The Resurrection of Jean Grey, so spoilers. Jean Grey is sort of back. So I've seen a lot of people complain about it, how confusing it is. But I think I'm one of the few that's actually digging it. I think it's my kind of complexity. Did you guys ever watch Quantum Leap?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first 2 issues remind me a lot of Quantum Leap's final 2 episodes, where he's sitting in a bar and the bartender's name's Al, and he's running into familiar faces that he's helped out throughout the series. So Jean, we see her at like a diner, and she's working there with a little girl named Annie. And if you know anything about Jean's past, Annie's the little girl that it was the first time that she used her mutant power. She felt her friend, when she got hit by a car, die. So she was mentally linked to her as her little friend was dying when they were kids. And that's what triggered her mutant power. Well, she's there with an older version of Annie, which I assume is that Annie. The other person's name is Gladys. There's a guy named John. He's a cook, which I think it's John Thunderbird. She's serving coffee to a guy named Sean, who looks like Sean Cassidy, Banshee. And then Magneto shows up, but he's in the meantime, the X-Men are trying to find the Phoenix Force. Like, they're going around trying to find him. So there's like this whole thing where her mom and dad are still alive, and then Cyclops comes in and he has a date with her, Scott Summers. Now, her mom and dad got killed during the End of Grey's storyline, which is where like the Shi'ar come down and start killing all the Greys because they think that the Phoenix is because they think they're the cause of all these problems. So I think it's interesting the way they're doing it. I don't know what's real. I don't know what's not. Like, I don't know if Scott's going to be back with Jean at the end of it. All I know is at the very end of issue 1, he comes and picks her up for a date. He's not in issue 2. Magneto keeps going back and forth between this diner and the real world where he's being attacked by these X-Men. I think it's a unique way of doing it. How they're going to explain that she survived, of course, they're just linked to the Phoenix that way. But I think the way that they're doing it is pretty unique. So I'm looking forward to reading more. And I ended up reading X-Men Grand Design.
Oh, that's supposed to be wonderful.
I love Grand Design, dude. That was great.
And I really loved it. I think it's great. I remember telling Riley, it felt like when I first heard about this series, I'm one of those X-Men snobs. It's like, fuck that motherfucker. I could have written this shit. But no, it was good. It was so good. The little details. I wish there was a spin-off series that could tell me more about like the other X teams that are happening at the same time.
Yeah, I would love to see Ed Piskor do something like this. That's like a whole chronological retelling of the X-Men, but for other titles like Fantastic Four or, like you said, X-Force, X-Factor, some of these other X titles. Excalibur would be fun too, something like that. But
yeah, well, I mean, because technically the guy knows his shit, so what he could do is just spin it off of this series and do X-Factor Grand Design and start off with the Days of Sinister and an Apocalypse. I think that would be great. Yeah, I'm loving this. I love the way that it is written. It's definitely it's not just for X-Men buffs. I think it really, anybody can pick it up and read it. It's detailed as shit, though, and it is dense.
It's great if you're the kind of person who wants to read or know everything from the very beginning of something. Kind of like the folks who want to read all of Amazing Spider-Man. So they want to start with X-Men or with Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 1 and just read absolutely everything they can. So if you're that kind of person that just wants to absorb every detail you can, this is that kind of book for you. And then at the end, he always like shows his homework. Like he's like, I talked about this on page 1, and it happened in, Bizarre Adventures. He really lays out exactly where he got this information from, because a lot of it sounds crazy and nonsensical, but you're like, well, fuck, that was Silver Age Marvel Comics. So of course it was crazy and nonsensical at the time.
I really like the way it's written. It really surprised me. So I read those.
I like his story. He did the same thing with in Hip Hop Family Tree. He just kind of chronologized.
Yeah, I need to pick that up. I've heard a lot of people.
How many issues are out of Grand Design?
Two.
Okay.
Two so far.
But there's going to be 6, I think, or 4.
6, okay, I think 6.
Well, I think 6 would be good because I guess each one could focus on. I'm just basing it on the geek in me is just basing it on the X-Men, right? There are 5 X-Men and then Professor X, so 6 issues.
Well, he's doing the first 300 issues of X-Men, so that's what really got me, because I love like the last from like X-Men 225 to 300 is like my sweet spot of X-Men. I first started getting into X-Men. That was like the end of the Joe Matt era, and then the start of the Chris Claremont, Jim Lee series and things like that. So I was I really want to check this stuff out because it's like the first 300 issues of X-Men. He's on kind of chronologically.
I do have to quote something right now. Chris on the chat said, Omar got the memory. I don't remember yesterday. That's only when I'm talking about X-Men, dude. Don't let this fool you. I don't remember jack shit about it. Like, my wife's like, I come home, like, it's our anniversary. I'm like, what?
Yes. Yeah.
That's what happens when you have like 600 issues of X-Men in your head constantly running. Oh, let me see how I would map up this omnibus.
Yeah, I mean, I could relay like first appearances of crazy characters and prices on comics and CGC grading, but ask me what the pin number is to the alarm in my house, and I fucking forget every time.
Or my multiple passwords I have at work.
Yeah,
I don't fucking know.
I gotta text my wife every time I leave the house. Like, what's the code for the alarm? You know?
I'm sure it's some goddamn X-Man with an exclamation mark and a dollar sign.
Yeah, literally all my passwords are comic book related. I mean, come on, what else would they be? Not like my kid's birthday or anything like that. You know, it's comic book shit.
Yeah, it's shit you remember, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You know, I've thought about since I was 12 years old. So yeah, that's the stuff I go to automatically.
All right. What about you? There, Jess, OmniDog.
I read 2 volumes of a great book, and that's Wayward. I love.
Why does that look like something you've already read?
Did I talk about it last week? Because I was reading it last week, but I finished it this week.
I heard a lot of good stuff about Wayward. I haven't read it before though.
Yeah, Wayward is a lot of fun. It's set in Japan. Did I talk about this last week? I don't remember.
No. I'm just saying it looks like a book you have mentioned. Maybe it's the cover. Who's the publisher?
Image. It's by Jim Zub and
Jim Zub. Okay.
Steve Cummings. This half Irish, half Japanese girl goes to Japan, and her powers start to manifest there, and she runs into other kids whose powers have manifested, and they're on their way to becoming the new gods of Japan as they fight and battle and kill these guys that are after them, who are in effect kind of the old gods of Japan.
Jess, I hate you. I'm going to kind of read this now.
It's really good.
Cool. I mean, I remember I was working in a comic book store when this was first coming out, like issue 1 and stuff, and people were going crazy for it. But
is that a hardcover? Is that a hardcover? Is it a hardcover?
Yeah, these are 2 hardcovers. I can see why people went crazy over it. It's really well done, really well drawn.
I like that art.
Yeah, it's a little bit manga-ish art and nicely colored, and the story moves along really quickly. So I really enjoyed this book a lot. And then the back is a wealth of stuff on where he got his information on Japanese folklore. And I think Steve Cummings still lives there in Japan, and Jim Zub taught for a while in Japan. So they know Japan back and forth. I highly recommend Wayward. I'm going to do a video on it because I want people to read it. And I'm going to do a video once I finish it on Slugfest, inside the epic 50-year battle between Marvel and DC. No pictures to show you because it's a prose book. So here's what it looks like. It's a prose book, but it's great. If you're interested at all in the battle between Marvel and DC, it does a nice job of what the beginning was like for these two, how Marvel overtook DC. I'm only up to, it starts in 61 when Marvel first came out with Fantastic Four. And then I'm only up to the part about 1972. What I'm really interested in is the 80s and 90s where things went crazy, and Chris Claremont apparently had his own jet. So I want to read that. I'm about a third of the way through it. I just started it today, so it's a really easy read, and I got it for cheap on Amazon. So if anybody's interested in a prose book, this is great for people that are out there. It's very quick read, very informative, and a ton of fun.
I love comic book history books like that.
Yeah, you would dig this, Gabe, because especially the part where that's coming up towards the 90s. Sherlock Alexi in the mod chat is the one that told me about it, and he was highlighting all kinds of things from the 90s about just how much dosh those guys at Marvel got. I don't know what it was like for DC because I'm not there yet, but things were crazy financially for those guys.
In the
so
90s?
I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to reading that part.
Yeah, well, that you're like the stuff in the 70s, Jess. That's a really good time in Marvel Comics. Like the 70s is basically the first. That's when the second generation of writers started coming in, which was also the first generation of fans who became professional comic book artists and writers. So there's a lot of crazy stuff in there. There's gotta be crazy stories in there about Jim Starlin being on drugs and doing comics and crazy.
Oh yeah, there was. I haven't got to it yet, but there was supposedly. Yeah, Sherlock told me something about Jim Starlin dropping LSD and doing all these wacky comics. I haven't got to that part yet, though, so I'm pretty excited about that.
No, there's got to be good stuff in there, like Howard the Duck stuff, Steve Gerber stuff. Like I said, this is when the first time that fans became comic book artists and comic book creators and stuff. So that was really a good time for Marvel. I've read, I got it here. It's one of my favorite books. The Untold Story of Marvel Comics by Sean Howell. So stuff like that I really love.
Oh, Sherlock was telling me about that book too.
Yeah, this one's fantastic. That's great stuff.
I love hearing all these things because it reminds me of a lot of the comic book people that I used to run with, like the guys that used to open up, like because not well before our time, Gabe. There was a time before us that there were no comic book stores apparently. Oh, yeah. And I ran into one of the guys that opened up one of the first few comic books. He passed away now, and
yeah.
But he told me like his intolerable hatred for Stan Lee. And I always wondered why. And then, the older you get, the more you hear things. Or he was one of the first people I ever heard talk about Bill Finger. Like, I've never heard that name. And this was like 1995. I'm like, who? That's not Bob Kane.
No,
but it's really interesting to hear all the. And there's always, two sides to every story. I'm curious to hear about this Claremont Jet thing. That's fucking badass.
Yeah, I'm going to keep pounding away at this book. My comic book reading will suffer, but only for a couple days.
I'll ask Claremont about the Jet. I'll ask him later.
You're seeing him this week?
Oh, you're seeing him this week?
No, the 27th. The 27th, him and Jerry Conway will be at the store.
I got so much shit to mail your way, dude.
Mail it, son. I got you covered, dude. I'll only do this for you guys. But yeah, mail it in. No, I'm serious.
I love that,
like,
man.
We get people at the store and people like hitting us up on Twitter and stuff. Like, can I send you guys stuff? I'm like, nah, we can't do that stuff, dude. That's too much work, dude. Like, if we were to do that for like 100 people, like, fuck that noise. That's a lot of logistics and stuff to plan out. But I got you.
Speaking of Twitter, I have an Instagram account now. I do have an Instagram account. My daughter and I set it up, and she doesn't even allow me to post my own stuff. She said it all has to come through me because that's what she does. She does social media for her company. So she says, you want to do this right, I have to vet all of it. And so it's all going through her. I write it and she edits it and I send her the pictures. And it's OmniDogs _vault on Instagram. OmniDogs _vault.
I got you, son.
Thank you.
How the hell did Jess get an Instagram before me?
OmniBros? Should we do an OmniBros
What's
Instagram,
that?
I wonder? Should we get an OmniBro account for Instagram?
That'd be cool.
Have your daughter run it?
Oh, she'd love to. She does vet my YouTube channel. She wants to be on my YouTube channel, Attack on Louie. I forget. There's we're gonna try root beer together on it. I'm getting. She got me root beer of the month club for 3 months.
Right now, it's all just pictures of your dog.
There's two pictures. Yeah.
Pictures of your dogs. That Slugfest book, and I'm guessing that's a mallet. A Harley Quinn mallet?
Harley Quinn
exactly.
mallet.
Harley Quinn mallet that I got for Christmas. Yeah, well, I just started it today.
Tolga said no naked statues on Instagram. Well, never mind, guys. I can't participate.
Oh, what are you talking about, man? There's half naked bitches on Instagram, man. You can put statues up there.
Wait a minute. What?
Speaking of statues, my Thanos statue ships next Monday.
Oh, which one did you go with? Did you get the one that lights up?
Yeah. I got the one that lights up. The one I have now lights up. This one right here lights up. But
let me see.
This one over there. That one.
Oh, I thought that was the Kotobukiya one. Which one is that?
That's the first sideshow. Thanos,
sideshow. Okay.
7 years ago.
Thank you, Steve. He said he just followed me. Woo!
Everybody can go follow Gabe Infinity Watch on Instagram as well.
Don't follow Omar because he is not on Instagram.
I got Instagram before you did.
Feel free to follow Torpedo Comics as well. Torpedo Comics.
That means like I'm older than you.
I know my tech better than you.
Well, your daughter's running it, so it doesn't really like count. Jumpy said I blocked Gabe Infinity Watch.
Thank you, E. Tyler Lindvall. I just followed you on OmniDog. Thank you,
I'll block John from the chat, fucker.
Look, somebody's asking, what is your Instagram, Gabe?
Gabe Infinity Watch. I got you, E. Tyler. You're a good guy. Also, just to throw it up there, Quantum Leap is one of the best TV shows ever made. I didn't get a chance to talk about that when you guys were talking about it earlier.
I love that show.
Oh yeah, that's definitely in my top 10.
Quantum Leap
ever.
Smash and The Shield, not Marvel's The Shield, but the Michael Chiklis Shield. Those are my 3 top favorite TV shows.
Really? See, I prefer The Wire over The Shield.
I couldn't get into The Wire. Couldn't get into The Wire.
Okay. Oh, was it too smart for you?
Yeah, The Wire.
You don't like smart TV? You don't like good actors on your television show?
Is that what it takes to make you prove smart about yourself? Saying that you watch smart TV?
I don't read books like Slugfest or whatever the hell. I gotta prove it somehow. How could you not watch The Wire? That is like one of the greatest shows ever made.
It just wasn't. I got like 3 seasons in. I was just like, "Fuck this noise."
Thank you, Matt Miranda. Omar coming, one of the greatest characters ever fucking made in television. Oh,
yeah, but just get a shotgun, Omar. I don't care what you have to say.
Okay, Jess, you've seen The Wire, right?
No.
Ha!
Oh, Jess.
Sorry.
Never mind.
I think people just say The Wire is their favorite show just because they're supposed to say that.
Are you really throwing me in there with people? Really?
Yes.
I like Avengers: The Crossing. That's not what people fucking say. I have an opinion, damn it.
I got all the way up to like the whole like Hamsterdam stuff, and I was like, "This should." I'm not getting it.
Season two was rough. By the time you get to season 3 and 4, though, they're brilliant. Dude, that show is brilliant.
Season 3 was Hamsterdam. Season 2 was the Docks. That was boring as fuck.
Oh, never mind then. Never mind. We're done talking. Okay, yeah. Go on and let's talk about some fucking books. Making me mad not liking the damn Wire.
I have no opinion. I haven't seen it yet. I'll watch it though. I know I'm supposed to watch it.
It's good. It's kind of like a little spin-off of Homicide: Life on the Street. So it's all part of.
I loved that show.
Oh, if you loved it, dude, you're gonna absolutely love The Wire.
I loved Homicide. That was great show.
And it's all connected to the Tommyverse. You know what? You guys remember that from St. Elsewhere?
Never watched St. Elsewhere.
Oh, okay. So apparently all these shows are all connected because of the ending of St. Elsewhere is the little kid with autism that's looking into a snow globe.
Oh, I saw that episode. That was the final episode, right?
Right. So all these shows are connected, like the X-Files, Homicide: Life on the Street, The Wire, St. Elsewhere, Friends, Mad About You. All these shows are apparently in the same Tommyverse universe. Recurring characters like John Munch.
So Friends is connected to The Wire?
Because Friends had a...
No wonder I hate that show so much.
Well, because Friends was connected to like Mad About You, and yeah, man, it's this crazy thing. Y'all should look it up. We can talk about books right now, though. But yeah, you guys need to watch The Wire. Last thing I'm gonna say, my last word in.
Go watch The Shield. That's better.
Okay, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
I bust your balls enough.
Corrupt cops in LA who like stash drugs on people and stuff. That show's great.
That's the same dude that started doing Sons of Anarchy, wasn't it? Was he one of the head writers?
He was a part of it, yeah. He was one of the producers. I forgot his name, but yeah.
Yeah, I love Sons of Anarchy too.
Sons of Anarchy had a lot of the same characters in there. Like Lemonhead was in Sons of Anarchy. But yeah, so The Shield's where it's at. The Shield or The Wire, nah, I'm good.
All right, man. You don't have to have the last word in it every time, Gabe, in our arguments. You can just, just watch The Wire. All right.
Wire's garbage. Go watch MASH. That's more exciting.
You know, Larry Hama was in MASH.
Yeah, so was Andrew Dice Clay.
Andrew Dice Clay did not have a phenomenal G.I. Joe run or wrote some of the best Wolverine comics ever.
No, but he wrote some damn good comedy. Or some bad comedy, however you want to put it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's good. It was okay. I still have a soft spot in my heart for that guy, though. Where were we?
I don't know. They're asking us about Barney Miller now, which is a show I loved.
Oh shit! Did you really? You like Barney Miller better than like Andy Griffith? Or I see Jess watching like what's the Father what's his name's Mysteries.
Oh my god!
Father Downey Mysteries and Murder She Wrote.
No, I did not watch that show.
Drinking your iced tea in your rocking chair watching Murder She Wrote.
I just liked Barney Miller and WKRP in Cincinnati. I love those two shows.
I like the Andy Griffith Show. I Love Lucy. You know those.
Oh yeah, I do too. I love those shows
great,
too.
Man. Those were great.
This says anyone watch X-Files season 11? Is that the new X-Files?
Yeah, it came back on last week.
I did not watch it.
I haven't seen it yet. I know what's her name's not coming back though, right? Gillian Anderson?
No, yeah, she's there.
Oh, she's in the new season?
Yeah.
Oh hell, I may have to watch it then.
Yeah. She's looking better than she did in the original show.
Because she hasn't had any plastic surgery?
I don't know. She just looks way good.
Yeah, I saw her recently in a movie, and she does look good. Yeah, you're right, Jess. She is back. Oh, cool. I may have to watch that.
I'm right about something. Can I keep my shirt on now?
And you're right, Shorty Larson. Sons of Anarchy was hit and miss. Some of it was great. Some of it was. Oh, okay. So she said if there's another season, she won't be coming back, is what Attack on Louis said, because she thought it was a one-season deal.
She was great in American Gods. Did you guys see American Gods?
That's what she said she wasn't coming back on, right? American Gods.
Who are we talking about? My connection cut out or something.
Gillian Anderson.
Oh, whatever. She was cool in Hannibal. Hannibal was a good show she was in.
I never saw Hannibal.
Me either.
I watched X-Files when it first coming out a little bit. Now I try to rewatch it recently, and that show's really rough. That doesn't hold up very well.
I loved it when it was early on.
Yeah, but now like that episode about the computer programmer who has an entire house controlled by his computer system just doesn't seem as wacky and out of control today as it did back in like the early 90s. Considering all of our houses are controlled by computers and automation anyways. Or office buildings or whatever it was that he lived in. I forgot.
Okay, so we talked about I thought Riley was going to pop in here, so I had a question that we could talk about with Riley, but he hasn't popped in yet. So do we want to just talk questions with the audience?
We could do this week's releases first.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. I sent you guys the link. I don't know if you guys saw it in chat.
Okay.
In our OmniBros chat.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right. So I'll do the good old fun screen sharing.
Okay.
All right. So is everybody seeing this week's releases for January 10, 2018?
Yes.
All right. So let's go ahead and start off with Dark Horse Comics, which has absolutely nothing. So skip. No.
What?
Hellboy and the BPRD 1954 trade paperback that's coming out.
I may need to get that.
That's gonna be in hardcover in like 5 years, so I'll wait to read that.
5 years.
I get the hardcover, so.
Well, that's the thing. I'm under the impression that everything BPRD is going to be produced in some kind of hardcover library fashion or something sooner or later.
It just takes them a long time, though.
Yeah. Well, Hellboy in Hell wasn't that long ago, was it? Because I recently went to library edition. That could be more than maybe 2 years ago.
Probably 3 years ago.
Okay. Either way. Next up, I Am Hero Omnibus Trade Paperback Volume 5. I have no idea what that is.
I need to catch up on that. It's a manga.
Oh, no wonder.
It's good though.
All right.
So I need to catch up on those. Anything good coming from DC?
That's like saying cherry flavored cough syrup is good, but all right.
Okay.
Coming up, DC has got a bundle this week with Batman Beyond Trade Paperback Volume 2, Rise of the Demon from Rebirth. Batman Shadow of the Bat Trade Paperback Volume 3. I love the Shadow of the Bat series. I
haven't picked any of those up.
Yeah.
I wonder. Alan Grant wrote a lot of those, didn't he?
He did. Yep. This is some Nightfall stuff with John Paul Valley.
I say most of it is Nightfall stuff from the looks of it. 24 through 31. Yeah.
Yeah. I just love I hope they reproduce. I'm pretty sure they do, but I just love the covers that Brian Stelfaz was doing back then. Like, those covers are gorgeous. Like, I don't know what kind of medium this is. I don't know if it's like chalk or like acrylic or what, but that stuff is just gorgeous.
Agreed. I really like this stuff too.
All right. And then Black Lightning Year 1. Cool. If that's for you. I'm not a big Black Lightning follower. Harley Quinn Volume 4. Surprise, surprise. Rebirth trade paperback. This is issues 22 through 27 plus the Harley Quinn 25th anniversary special. Injustice Gods Among Us Year 3 complete collection. I've never read any Injustice, but this does have a huge following. I know that.
It does. Are those, and this might be a stupid question, are those based on the video game?
Injustice? They are.
Okay. Or that's how they started?
Yeah, it's a part of the video game universe. I don't know if the video game follows the storyline or the storyline follows the video game or the storyline in the comics is just like within the universe or what. I've never checked it out, but I mean, I know this is really just, I know this is a big seller. Like, this stuff is always on like Amazon's top trade paperbacks and stuff like that, I think. But
okay,
cool. Supergirl trade paperback volume 4, Daughter of New Krypton. This is the 2000 series. So is this the Peter David stuff?
The 2000 series?
It's Sterling Gates.
Why are they releasing? Are they re-releasing these?
I'm guessing.
Because this was after Infinite Crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was after Infinite Crisis. I was collecting that run.
Yeah. This is right around is this the 1 year later stuff or?
Yeah, it's after 1 year later. Okay. I don't know what the hell. Yeah, that's weird. I didn't know about that.
I like that Josh Middleton cover though.
Yeah, I miss that guy. He's just not a fast enough artist.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Hire him to do covers.
Exactly. I'm sure him or any other artist would much rather get paid covers than to do interiors.
I mean, look up Scott Campbell, Arthur Adams, all those guys.
Scotty Young, dude. Yeah.
Well, Scotty Young still has a comic though. He still has I Hate Fairyland.
He does, but he made a lot of money doing those baby covers for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he hated every minute of it too.
Yeah. Well, he said
not making the money part, but you know.
Yeah. I mean, he could hammer out a cover in a couple hours and get paid, you know, whatever, $1,000-$1,200 to do it. So, I mean, why wouldn't you? All right, so IDW, we have G.I. Joe Real American Hero Volume 19.
So, speaking of Larry Hama.
Right.
Okay, so quick, do you guys even know what this is? Because this is a good series.
No, I've
No,
never
I
read a
don't.
G.I. Joe comic.
Okay.
No.
So G.I. Joe Real American Hero is a continuation of the Marvel Comics. Marvel Comics canceled the line, and then IDW started publishing issues after the cancellation. So we're talking about a 25-year gap in between the stories, with Larry Hama writing the stories. So it's really, really cool. So this is original IDW stuff.
When they started the series up again, was it seamless or was it like 20 years later kind of thing or something?
No, it was kind of seamless.
Okay.
In the way that Transformers did it too.
All right.
But I don't think Transformers did it that great of a job with Simon Furman, but I think Hama did a better job with G.I. Joe.
Well, the Simon Furman stuff, that was Dreamwave, wasn't it?
No, it was IDW whenever they started. Like
IDW,
a continuation of his Marvel stuff, skipping the, what's it called, Generation 2 stuff.
Okay. Oh, speaking of, while we're here talking about Larry Hama, did you guys see the Toys That Made Us?
I did. I saw all four episodes.
I need to see that. Damn it.
There's a lot of, not a lot of Larry Hama, but it's just really cool to see.
Yeah, he was a big part of G.I. Joe. It was interesting. I wish I liked the style that they did it in. I really didn't care for the narrator, but other than that, I thought it was a good series.
More about, or not more about, but I wish they would hook up with collectors, like a collectors show, like showing people's collections and more about the toys.
I was hoping to see more of that and more of the other stuff I didn't know about too.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, hearing the executives and like the creative people talk about, you know, how these toys came around by accident a lot of times, or just out of necessity. It's just really kind of cool to see that kind of happen. You know, that's really interesting too.
I'm so interested in this stuff, dude. I even watched the Barbie episode.
I did too. I've seen all 4 episodes probably like 4 or 5 times just because we play it at work sometimes and stuff like that. So.
It was funny to see, like, the 1 year the guys were in charge of the Barbies. They made the prepubescent Barbie, or what's her name, Skipper.
Yeah.
Where, like, you move her arm backwards and her boobs come out and she's hitting puberty.
Oh, man. No, but did you see the one lady? I think it was during the He-Man. No, I'm sorry. It was during the Barbie episode. But it was a part where they were talking about He-Man, and they had to come up with She-Ra to kind of like compete with He-Man.
Yeah.
The lady that they're talking to, right behind her in the shot the entire time, I couldn't.
Oh yeah, the chair, the chair,
weird chair that looked like it was her masturbating or something. I just could not stop looking at that chair. Like I heard nothing she said about it. I just looked at it.
My wife walked in.
What's going on?
And she looked at that chair and she's like, "What the hell is that?" Yeah. And I'm like, "I think it is what you think it is."
It just looks like a boneless version of herself wrapped over a chair, just like double clicking her mouse or whatever. It's just really weird.
What?
Yeah.
This is the Barbie episode?
Yeah, you won't miss it.
It's the Barbie episode, yeah.
You won't miss it.
Which is the second episode. Yeah, you can't not see that. Like, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, so moving on from that, Jim and the Holograms Infinite trade paperback. I haven't read Jim in a while, but I have the first hardcover and I really like Jim, so I'll be picking up. I pick up a lot of hardcovers. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good stuff. Something called Limbo Lounge hardcover. Satellite Falling trade paperback and X-Files trade paperback volume 4.
Good Lord, man, they have licenses out the wazoo, I swear.
Does IDW have anything that's in-house?
Not. Well, I mean, they did like Lock and Key and things like that. Every once in a while, they'll have a book, but most of it is just. I mean, you got 2 of our toys and cartoon franchise right there. You have the X-Files. I don't know what satellite. I don't know what Satellite Falling is.
Yeah, they picked up Mega Man and I think Sonic, because I know Archie lost the rights to that, and I think
Archie lost the rights. You're absolutely right. So now they've got that.
But you know what? They do a damn good job on the Turtle stuff and Transformer stuff. So they really respect these licenses for sure.
Yeah.
Image Comics, we have Cowboy Ninja Viking Deluxe Edition trade paperback.
Postal. Sorry, I jumped ahead.
And apparently Postal's on the list too. Yes.
Sorry.
Curse Words, Descender Volume 5. There's another one for you, Jess.
Yep.
Divided States of Hysteria. That's Howard Chaykin's crazy ranting madman about American culture right now.
That was supposed to be. Was that supposed to be the Batman story originally?
No, that was that Frank Miller book.
Oh, Frank Miller, yeah.
Shit, I have it. What's it called?
Holy Terror.
There you
Holy
go.
Terror. Thank you.
Dude, I should get Frank Miller to sign my Holy Terror book. That'd be awesome.
Hell yeah, Mage baby.
Yeah, Mage is coming up next. Good old Mage books from Matt Wagner. Yep. We know about Postal already, and then we have Wicked and Divine trade paperback volume 6. Wow, I didn't know they had that many trade paperbacks already.
Well, they have 2 hardcovers, so
I haven't read I haven't read a single Wicked and Divine issue, which I hate myself about because I really love Cameron Stewart's art. No, and I like Karen Gillan. Like, I really like the stuff they do together. Jamie McKelvey. I'm sorry, I get Jamie McKelvey and Cameron Stewart confused.
It's the same team that did what's it called, the Young Avengers and some of the Loki stuff.
All right, so Marvel. All right, good old Cable Nemesis contract trade paperback. That's cool.
We just got one last week. I may have to pick these 2 up then this week.
Was it last week we got one? No, we got one.
Or last month.
About a month ago. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a Cable, Ledron, and Casey. So
right.
I think
this is Cable 59 through 70, annual 99. And here we go. X-Men 45 through 47. That's cool.
Yeah, it's that crossover with Strife where Strife just shows up out of nowhere. And you're like, when did this asshole come back to life? Oh, well, comics.
I like how it says here, Cable will face the wrath of Zazax, which is just the name of an actual street outside of Las Vegas.
That's the what's it called? The Incredible Hulk villain, the electrical dude.
Yeah. Deadpool by Posehn and Duggan, complete Volume 1 collection.
They've got those.
That hardcover or that omnibus.
The funny is the omnibus is like it's in liquidation, so you could probably get it for $30, which is $5 cheaper than getting the collection Volume 1.
Yep. But also, I remember, I mean, a lot of people were saying that their versions or their copies of the trade paperback or the hardcover, I'm sorry, the omnibus, the binding was all fucked up. It was coming apart already.
It's a huge damn omnibus.
Yeah. Doctor Strange Volume 5. I think this is the Secret Empire stuff. So I think this is the end
of that stuff gets reprinted in a hardcover edition.
This is the end of Jason Aaron's run, I think, right?
Either the beginning of the next guy or the ending of Aaron's run. I can't remember.
Well, the next guy is Donny Cates, and this is Dennis Hopeless. All right, so
yeah, so
this is already after.
Not the biggest Hopeless fan, but whatever.
All right, back down to Marvel.
There's a couple Marvel books I'm getting then.
There's only one book I'm getting this week.
Vision.
Vision, yeah.
Spoilers.
Epic Collection. This is Incredible Hulk. Follow the Patreon.
Click on that for a second.
Gabe. I got you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, hell yeah, man! They're kicking ass with these. So if you already had the Peter David Visionaries 1 through 8, this would be like Volume 11. They are kicking ass with these Visionaries. This is awesome. They're gonna eventually collect all Peter David's run. I'm so happy about this.
Yeah, this is good stuff. This is I like the art team. You got Gary Frank, Derek Robertson.
Yeah, Liam Sharp.
Liam Sharp is good. Terry Dodson. Like that's a
Liam Sharp can draw some fucking huge dudes too. Yeah, so he was perfect for this.
Like Gary Frank and Derek Robertson are fairly similar. Gary Frank nowadays has a lot more thinner lines than Derek Robertson, but I think back then you really couldn't tell one another apart. I think. Because Derek Robertson is very much a Brian Boland clone. All right, so next up is Black Panther movie prelude. Whatever. I think that's only like what's in here. Because I know the actual comic Prelude's only like 2 issues. All right, so you got Black Panther Prelude 1 through 2, Jungle Action 6 through 7. Black Panther from 2005, number 2. Black Panther number 1 from the most recent series, and Black Panther 1998, number 19. So this is good stuff if you're interested in Black Panther stuff because you're kind of hyped up with the film. And I appreciate that he's black around his eyes. You've seen that pin. I don't really care. But the Jungle Action stuff, that Jungle Action book, that's a crazy, crazy book from the 70s. Really crazy. Especially with I don't know if these issues have Manape in it, but Manape is just a ridiculous character from the 70s. It's literally a black man in an ape costume fighting the Black Panther. All right, so Marvel Masterworks. We got the variant and the regular, but this is Daredevil hardcover volume 12. And I really like the cover because I love Bullseye, and I really want to get a first appearance of Bullseye. That's one of my back issues I want to get really bad. Trade paperback volume 2 for She-Hulk. Let Them Eat Cake.
I haven't read that series, and I kind of want to because of my. I really enjoyed this one summer, and it's it's one of the sisters that's working on it.
Walt Simonson trade paperback volume 2. This is all the stuff. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is in the omnibus. If you have the omnibus,
yeah.
But if you don't want the omnibus, then this is going to be your next best route, probably. And the my pick of the week for trade paperback collection is the Vision hardcover by Tom King and Gabriel Hernandez. I've not read this.
Oh,
but it's
so
been
good.
so super hyped up over the last, God, what's it been, like 2 years now almost, it feels like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down for this. This is 1 through 12 with all the extras from the director's cut as well. For a while, I know there's a lot of confusion because they changed up the solicitation. Because the original solicitation was Vision 1 through 6, but that was director's cut 1 through 6, and the director's cut were 2 issues. So either way, it's the entire series plus all the extras you got out of the director's cut issues. So this is going to be a really great complete collection of the Vision for $40. And you can probably find it on IST for probably $20, if not cheaper, tomorrow.
Bet Marvel's kicking themselves in the ass for letting Tom King go too before they can get an exclusive on him. They've let a lot of talent go like that though. Like I remember they had Jeff Johns before Jeff Johns was a huge DC guy, and he was working on Avengers. He had one of my favorite Avengers story.
Well, yeah, he did that Avengers with Rick Remenders did some of the art in that book.
That run. What was it? The Oliver Copiel Red State book. Oh,
yeah.
That's one of my favorite Avengers stories.
That was right before Bendis took over.
Yep. Well, Chuck Austin did it for about 10 issues, and then Bendis.
Yep. Here's kind of the everything else category. I'm just going to kind of just skim through this, see if anything sticks out to me. Let me know if anything sticks out to you guys. Not seeing anything that I really want to talk about. Over the Garden Wall, I've always heard good things about. I don't know anything about it, but
it's a cartoon, right?
I don't know.
Oh.
I just know a lot of people it sells pretty well in my store, so that's the only reason I have any kind of familiarity with that title. All right, and that's it for what's coming up this week.
Right on. I'll be able to get to $50.
Easy peasy. You guys want to do a Q&A?
Let's do it, son.
Yeah, it's been all about basketball, so I don't know if they want to talk about comics, but it's been all basketball for the past 10 minutes.
Here's a good question for Jess. Jess, are you getting the Kevin Smith collection?
What's the Kevin Smith collection?
Given that I just dumped root beer all over Cacophony and Widening Gyre, the answer is no.
Jess, did you ever? I saw that, by the way. You're a monster. There are kids starving in other countries that could have used that paper to roll their weed in.
Roll their weed in. I wanted
The
to
starving kids that could have drank that root beer.
Yeah.
Have you ever read his Daredevil or Green Arrow? Because I really like those two.
I haven't read Daredevil. I did read Green Arrow, and I did like Green Arrow. I have that in absolute.
I love that Green Arrow. How he was able to bring him back. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I enjoyed
the whole,
that.
What was it like? During the explosion, particles landed on Superman, and they brought him back with those particles or something.
Yeah, because
right?
Well, at the time it was Hal Jordan was the Spectre, so it had all to do with that. I thought it was pretty cool, and I loved that Daredevil. I thought it was good.
Yeah, Daredevil. That was a really good Daredevil run. I liked it a lot.
I was curious if you had read those and how you felt about it, because I know how strongly you feel about his Batman.
Yeah,
Onomatopoeia. At least he brought him back. I always thought he was a unique villain in the Green Arrow run, though.
Did he bring him back? Or did he create Onomatopoeia? I thought he was the original character.
Yeah, it's silly, but at the time I thought it was pretty original. Let's see. What are the other questions?
I haven't been looking.
Thoughts on Fourth World Omnibus?
There you go, Gabe. Here's your shameless plug.
Yeah, Fourth World Omnibus. Check out my video on it on my channel, Gabe Infinity Watch. It's an amazing achievement of DC to be able to put together basically everything Jack Kirby did for them, outside of things like, OMAC and the Demon and stuff like that. But it's everything in one omnibus. But warning, there is a printing error where a page is left out, and because of that, a page gets reprinted.
What's an entire page?
An entire page is left out because a page got reprinted instead. But none of that. I haven't read that far into it, but I have read the page that's missing, and it's not like a crucial part of anything. It's not like a storyline or anything like that. But if you're really finicky about printing errors, there you go. But it's a beautiful, awesome book. I have it here somewhere. It's 1,500 pages of just Jack Kirby greatness. That is honestly, to me, really kind of not mentioned as much as it should be with comics. Pointed because I was really hoping that Darkseid was going to show up in the Justice League movie to help kind of legitimize this a little bit more. But it is what it is. Great book. I definitely recommend it. 100%.
You can just print out the missing page and tape it over.
you can just Google Fourth World misprinting and just read that page and just move on with your life.
I like Biggie Cheese's question: which superhero animated show that was canceled too soon would you revive? In a fucking minute.
I would, but it's already being revived, and that was Young Justice.
I would do Justice League Unlimited. I love that. I love Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. I think it had more potential than just 4 seasons.
Spectacular Spider-Man was really good. Or is it Spider-Man Unlimited? I forget which one it is. Those things just all kind of blur together to me.
You got me. I didn't watch Spider-Man past that. Spider-Man Unlimited was garbage.
Must have been Spectacular, maybe.
Spider-Man Unlimited is the one where he goes to space. He gets trapped on. It was a follow-up to the Spider-Man animated series, after season 5.
Yeah.
It was so weird. What about you, Jess? What would you revive? Are you big into the...
Not big into the animated stuff. No, I'm not big into the animated stuff.
I would really wish they would revive the original Teen Titans series again, as opposed to it becoming Teen Titans Go. But Teen Titans Go is fun. It's cute and it's enjoyable, but it just doesn't have the heart.
Yeah. I watch it with my kids.
Yeah, I watched a bunch of it. It's good. It's fun to just kind of veg out on, and you get silly laughs out of it. But that original Teen Titans series was just really good, especially if you're a fan of Young Justice or something like that. That original Teen Titans stuff is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean they had the whole Judas contract
Yep.
there. It was awesome. I
But
thought
they
it was
didn't
really
call him
cool.
Deathstroke. They just kept referring to him as Slade.
Slade. That's just too violent for little kids show. No, I love that show.
Jess, how do you feel about Amanda Connor leaving Harley Quinn? I get it. She's been doing it. She and her husband have been doing it forever, it seems like. They're probably tired. They're probably burnt out, and I don't blame them. And maybe a new writer and artist will take it in a different direction that's really fun. So I'm hopeful that that it's going to continue to be as good as I like it. And I understand. I get it. Maybe they'll take a break and come back. But maybe they'll move on to do something else great. Vision hardcover is confirmed. Yes, Biggie Cheese. It sure is. It's on sale tomorrow.
Yes, sir. We just went over it. I'm really pumped for that. I can't wait to get that. I might just do a video on it because I know I'll get it tomorrow.
Do you guys collect Judge Dredd? Jake, Jesus just asked this. Jake.
I've never read a single Judge Dredd comic.
I used to read a lot of them in the 90s, but I haven't read them recently.
They're kind of weird. Like the collections here are kind of weird because I was trying to get into them, but the collections that we would get here were based on artist. It wasn't like a chronological run. And I'm kind of a completist when it comes to these things. Like I'm the idiot that will read like fucking Paul Jenkinson's run on Hellblazer, which isn't that great, but so I tried reading a few of them. Like, but actually, Boland had one, a collection of his stuff, and I like the character. I don't think they print enough here in America.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I really know about Judge Dredd is just the things I've seen in, just some basic comic stuff that he's popped up in, and just the last Dredd movie was like one of my favorite movies of all time, though.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I love that movie.
I'm hoping that they will follow to the movie.
That's a movie that would have been profitable and probably been able to have a sequel already if it wasn't for the extra money they pumped into it to make it 3D.
Oh, that's right. They did make it 3D, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, the 3D was actually pretty cool because of the whole slow-mo and throwing people off the edge of the apartment complex. But I could have lived without that and just have that movie be successful and have it be, a sequel. It's basically The Raid, but with Judge Dredd. Oh, I got the burps.
Let's see.
Where are we at on the questions?
Oh man, Kenneth, I would love a JLU animated movie with the original voice cast. That would be so awesome. Every one of those guys were great.
Dude, that last episode of Justice League Unlimited, the Batman Beyond one, that thing's a fucking tearjerker, dude. That thing will get you right in the feels, son.
Yeah, Batman Beyond was a solid series too.
Yeah, I love Batman Beyond. Love it. Batman Beyond is my favorite Batman outside of just, Bruce Wayne. Yeah, I really love just Terry McGinnis's Batman. And old man Bruce Wayne is awesome.
Speaking of Latino guys, I saw Coco a couple weeks ago. That was a good movie.
Uh-oh. Did you walk out of there able to see behind all the tears in your eyes?
I definitely got choked up.
That movie's rough.
Got choked up.
If you've ever had experience like the death of family or a friend or anything like that, like
right,
that'll get you. But yeah, just be Latino and show up 20 minutes late to that movie, so you have to watch that god awful Frozen short.
They didn't show that at my theater.
Oh no. Maybe it's getting so much hate they're taking it out. I don't know.
Yeah, they did. I had sort of steeled myself for having to sit through it, but they didn't show it.
Man, I remember my wife and I went to go see it, and because we had Movie Pass, like for some reason Movie Pass has like weird weird data on their aggregator for the movies, and it said that the movie was 45 minutes long, and I was like, that can't be right. That movie can't be 45 minutes long. And we went to go see it, and that goddamn Frozen short was only 20 minutes, but it felt like it was forever because it was just so boring that I was like, okay, maybe this movie really is 45 minutes, and the other hour is this fucking Frozen shit they have going on.
Oh, Matt Miranda's saying they did take it out because of too many complaints.
There you go.
That's interesting. Omar, do you have a Meatballs 2 shirt on?
I do. Good eye.
That was from Chastity Cakes.
Yes. So it's a thing. Like my wife and I are probably the only two people on Earth that think that Meatballs 2 is superior to Meatballs 1. Just don't judge me on that.
I haven't seen
It's
those
fucking
movies
amazing. I don't care.
I'm gonna have to watch that over again.
I don't care what you guys think. They're Meatballs 2 is so awesome. Man, there's some really good questions.
Yeah, Jake Jesus has a good question about Mouse.
Oh, it's wonderful. One of the best books I've ever read.
Yeah, it's easily one of the best books I've ever read, and it is deserving of every award and Pulitzer that it got. It's mind-bogglingly great. That broke all kinds of walls and pushed the envelope and did exactly what a comic book should do. It just told a beautiful, brilliant story that couldn't have been told any other way except through the fabulous medium of comics.
It did it in a very unique way with mice and cats and dogs. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
I probably owned that hardcover for like 20 years and I've never read it.
Oh my goodness,
dude! It's a quick read. Like you just get so
I can see it right here on my shelf. I seriously probably had that thing for 20 years and I've never read it.
Yeah, Jake, you need to buy that, own it, read it, live it, love it.
That damn book made me cry. I remember reading that fucking book.
Make Havoc. He keeps hitting me up wanting to know when I'm gonna get signed by Chris Claremont. I'm not sure yet. My go-to answer is Uncanny X-Men 266 because
first Gambit.
Week, first Gambit. Because the next week after that Claremont signing, we have Andy Kubert in the store. So I'm thinking about getting that cover. Sign. Yeah.
And then Jim Lee did the little box in the corner. So you gotta get him to sign it.
I was like, why are people asking Jim to get this thing signed all the time? But I found out he did the corner box.
And he created the character, so yeah, man.
That or I might be getting. I kind of want to snatch up a Wolverine 1 because I get it signed by Claremont and later get it signed by Frank Miller. So I'm kind of in between that kind of situation. But I'm definitely gonna get Frank to sign my Big Bad Sin City for sure. That's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't Omnibus yet for Swamp Thing. That's crazy.
They like messing with him. I don't know that we're ever going to see that. I mean, people say, yeah, it's coming. Yeah, it's coming. They just jack him around.
And where the hell is my damn Miracle Man fucking Omnibus that I was promised 10 years ago?
Come on.
10 years ago.
I mean, we didn't even get all the little shitty hardcovers yet.
They're not out yet. No.
Yeah, they stopped doing that shit. I think they stopped. What was the last thing they did for Miracle Man? That Neil Gaiman unreleased issue, or was that a Grant Morrison issue?
I think it was Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
They don't even refer to him as Alan Moore. It's just like the writer. Is that what they call him? Like that's who they give credit to, the creator or something like that. I don't know, whatever. Because he wants his name off of that damn book. Is the Jim Lee run on X-Men any good? Holy shit!
Yes.
Hell yes. Hell yes. And I'm talking like 268.
Yeah.
Is probably one of the best standalone X-Men issues ever written. That is the one with it's the little uncle. It definitely in my top 20 moments of X-Men. It's a flashback issue with Captain America and Black Widow. It's got the infamous cover with Black Widow, Cap, and Wolverine. But it's more of a flashback.
Time you realized Captain America and Wolverine knew each other from the war.
Yeah, and Captain America realizes it, and they have a flashback with Natasha, and it's awesome. Oh, I love that. And then that goes on through like 269, which is the fight with Rogue and Miss Marvel, and then 270, which is the Extinction Agenda crossover, the Muir Island saga, the Shi'ar. Oh man, I could talk about this for a fucking whole episode. Yes, it is.
Jim was on a podcast once talking about that issue and how in the script Claremont wrote the whole thing about Captain America and Wolverine knowing each other, and he goes, "Is this true? Is this a real thing?" And Claremont's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. Let's just go with it." So he's just making it as he went along because it's Claremont. He can do what he wants.
Hell yeah, he was flying in private jets.
They pay that motherfucker whether he writes comics or not. So why not? There's a really good. Have you seen that Chris Claremont documentary out there?
Of course I have.
Okay, I didn't know if you've seen about
every one of them.
I'm really throwing it out there so other people watching might not know. But there's a
Which one are you talking about?
It came out like 2 years ago. It's the same group that did the Warren Ellis and the Grant Morrison.
Oh yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good question because I have not read it. Guys, have you checked out Batman the Dark Prince Charming? I know the art is great, but is the writing good there, Mr. Betty Ford?
Who did that?
A European writer. A European writer and artist, and I can't think of his name right now.
Isn't it done by Matina?
It's a European writer, and the art is fantastic, but I don't know a thing about the story.
It's Enrico Martini or Marini.
Okay.
No idea who he is. I just know I've seen this stuff before. I've seen this Prince Charming. It's really weird because it's a hardcover comic, and there's going to be like 2 issues of it.
Oh, okay.
People saying it's a good book.
I mean, I haven't read it, so I can't say much about the story, but the art's totally awesome.
Yeah. All right. It's an excellent book. The story is great as well. Perhaps I will add it to my IST order tomorrow to make it $50.
Do you really need to add more stuff? I think you've got that stuff.
I don't. There's not really that much besides the Vision and maybe a couple of trades that are coming out tomorrow.
You don't have a backlog?
I'm sorry.
I usually have a backlog.
I have a really tiny wish list, and it's really stuff I should X out at this point. It's stuff I'm not going to get.
Did you make you made an IST order last week, right?
Yeah, it just shipped.
I don't know how many times I've done that where I made an order and I got that extra 2% discount, and that 2% discount fucked me out of the free shipping.
Oh.
So Biggie Cheese keeps asking, who do we hate more? Damian Wayne? Pretend Super Sons doesn't exist? Or Eric O'Grady, Ant-Man?
I actually don't have an opinion on that because I don't know Eric O'Grady, Ant-Man.
He's that astonishing Ant-Man that you hated so much.
Yeah, that's the run that you didn't like, right?
Oh, that's why I blotted it out of my memory. Well, I'm going to say Eric O'Grady.
The I hate anything kind of game, but I have to go with Eric O'Grady too because I don't hate Damian that much.
I've only read the issues. Isn't he the Robert Kirkman Ant-Man? Didn't Robert Kirkman create that guy?
That's the one that I hated.
Yeah, I did not like that book, so I'm going to go with him. Damian grew on me. Actually, you know what? I kind of like Damian from the start. As soon as he pushed Tim Drake Robin, I was like, yeah, that's my boy. I like that guy.
Super Sons is a great book. I've been reading that at work.
I really like that book.
Yeah. Now we're getting a lot of good questions. Keep it up, everybody. Where am I on here? Okay, so last one was who do you hate more, Damian Wayne?
He said, what? Stephen Reyes said, oh, I love Tim Drake. But I also like whiny little bad guys that are overpowered. Maybe that's why I kind of like Kylo Ren. Like, I think they make for good bad guys. That's why I liked it. I thought he was a brat, but he grew on me. Chris, I have read the most recent Walking Dead, the one with the New World Order 175. But I stopped reading those letter pages in a lot, like years ago. He says Kirkman gets a touch douchey in the letter columns.
He's always been douchey in his letter columns, though.
I stopped reading them years ago, so I haven't read them in a long time.
This was really notorious for I don't know if it was a bad thing, but they always loved printing the letters of like readers attacking them so they could attack them back, kind of thing. Bendis used to do that a lot in the Powers letter pages.
Attack on Louis, leave me alone.
Chris, the ending has me excited, and I haven't been excited for a Walking Dead book in a long time. Without going into spoilers, I thought it was awesome, and it could lead to a whole new, different kind of storytelling for the character.
Matt Miranda's got a beautiful idea of getting Felipe on the show, and then we'll just talk about Marvel the whole time.
Talk about Marvel comics.
He'll just sign out. He would be fun to have on.
Have you guys seen
more people from the group on here? You know, like especially because you did that great episode with Faria the other day, Jess. She'd be cool to get on here.
Oh yeah, she would be great. She had a lot of good stuff to say. A lot of good stuff.
I like her because she's such a strong, like, opinionated lady, and she just is like, well, fuck everybody. Harley Quinn is stupid if you're a 10-year-old girl dressing up like her. I'm like, that's pretty much true.
Yeah, she's definitely got strong opinions, and she will back them up. You think there's any chance for a Hitman Omnibus by Ennis? Oh my god, I wish.
I love that. That's got one of the. That book has one of the best endings. I love that ending to that book.
Such a good book.
Good. Yeah, and very, very underrated too.
Yeah.
That first appearance of Hitman is a pretty pricey book right now too.
Where was his first appearance?
Superman annual?
No, it was in what was that bullshit crossover they did? I
thought it was Bloodlines, like that.
Yeah, Bloodlines. Yeah, it was that Bloodlines crossover. It was like the only thing they did of that crossover. It's the only issue that's like has any kind of like heat on it.
Yeah, Bloodlines was the crossover where they introduced new characters to follow Marvel's example of that. They had the same concept for their annuals that year. So we got Extreme Adam X.
I think that's also where we got Genis Vale, but he was what was he called? Legion at the time? No, not Legion. Legacy,
yeah.
Yeah. I love Genis Vale. They should do a fucking omnibus or hardcover of that fucking run. That Peter David Captain Marvel.
Yeah. I would buy that in a fucking minute.
Yeah.
Question, is Nightwing Rebirth Deluxe Volume 1 worth getting? Yes.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Starts out a little slow, but boy, does it pick up steam.
I haven't read it yet, but I definitely want to get it. But I want to get that Grayson omnibus first.
Yeah, that's great too. Is she in the States? Is that Freya? If it's Freya, yeah, she's in Baltimore.
I have not read the James Bond series from Dynamite. How's that? I read their Green Hornet stuff. I thought that was pretty solid. Have you guys read any of the Bond stuff?
I'm not.
I don't think I think I might have a prejudice against Dynamite. I kind of purposely just stray away from anything they do.
But they did The Boys.
Yeah, sure. Even that, after a while, wore off on me.
You didn't like The Boys, huh?
I got tired of like the period blood jokes, and that's
dude. It's Garth Ennis, and so you know what to expect.
I know, but you know, at the same time,
he has a formula, and he sticks to it. He doesn't, in a kind of way that like Neil Gaiman has a formula too. It's the writing you expect. I don't know. Maybe I liked it. I thought it was a good series. It was fun.
Yeah. No, I dug it all the way up until about that point, and I was like, all right, well, I guess this is, Ennis does that a lot to me. Like I said before, he did that with me with Punisher when he gave the Russian boobs, and he had a shirt that said Britney, and I was just kind of like, this is stupid. And then The Boys, I was digging it all the way up until the whole period blood stuff, and but then he did Crossed, and I really like Crossed. So whatever. Some things just resonate with you, and other things don't. We got people asking about. I think it's one guy, but he keeps asking about the Marvel Star Wars omnibus. If they're any good, I don't care.
The Marvel Years ones.
The Marvel.
I think the Marvel Years ones, yeah,
they're okay. I definitely recommend if you're gonna go read Star Wars, you should definitely do the new stuff by Jason Aaron. Go that route, or Mark Waid's Darth Vader.
That Vader down stuff is badass. Like, even me as a not Star Wars fan will say that Vader down stuff is badass.
Well, the old Star Wars stuff is kind of hokey and a little outdated. You got to be a Star Wars fan, or you have to have some kind of nostalgia towards it. It's cheap enough though. Like I've seen it at comic book conventions for like $30 each for each one of the Omnis. I think Riley's the one that has them.
Did you read How to Talk to Girls at Parties by Neil Gaiman? I did. I really liked it a lot. It was kind of trippy. It was pretty trippy. It felt a little Grant Morrison-y-ish to me. It got real trippy in there, but not so trippy you couldn't enjoy it. It just went in a direction I didn't expect. And I liked it. I kept it. It's worth a reread. So I've decided that I'm not keeping anything that I'm not going to reread. So if I'm not going to reread it, I'm not keeping it. And that's a book that I will definitely keep and reread.
I own all those books, and that's one of the ones I haven't read.
Oh, it's fun. It's quick. You can finish it in an hour.
He's one of my favorite authors. I love his stuff.
Draganosis wants to know, should he grab the Hellboy library editions now if he wants to jump into Mignola verse? If not, where should he start?
It's a good way to jump into the Mignola verse. You can start with the library edition one. There's a great Multiversity Comics guide on the internet that shows you exactly what to read in the exact order that it should be read for all BPRD, Abe Sapien, Hell on Earth, Hellboy, everything. And you can start with library editions 1 for Hellboy.
They have an omnibus coming out too. It's
softcover omnibuses are coming out if you don't want to go if you don't want to go the hardcover way.
But I like Mignola's artwork, so I like it oversized. So I'm happy with the library editions. I think they're great. Andrew was asking what do you think the chances are of Marvel doing a Jim Starlin cosmic omnibus collecting his Thanos, Marvel, and Warlock? I don't know. I don't know about now, because I think he walked away from Marvel recently, didn't he? Like after his Thanos?
He did, yeah.
I think he just had enough. So probably if there will be one, maybe it won't be for a while. Seems like when creators walk away, or they're walked away, rather, we don't get any of their collections for a while, which sucks because the fans are the ones that suffer. Of course, I think Jeffrey Roberts, I think they will definitely have a Star Wars omnibus. I think they're just waiting on Aaron's final hardcover to hit. Get all that money for that. But yeah, it would make a perfect omnibus, the length of his story.
Real quick, with the Jim Starlin question, do any of you guys have the Guardian solo omnibus?
Solo Classics?
Yeah, the Solo Classics.
Yeah, I have it. I haven't read it yet.
Because I thought, I'm trying to look it up. I thought a lot of that stuff was collected in that omnibus. I'm trying to get a picture of the back and see.
The Starling Infinity stuff, like Thanos stuff and I don't think that's been collected in an omnibus format.
You mean his original graphic novels?
I mean, that stuff was all in the Infinity Gauntlet, but he's talking about like the Warlock stuff right after Infinity Gauntlet.
Or right before Infinity Gauntlet, yeah.
Well, yeah, and then before Infinity War or after Infinity War. Damn, I'm getting these stories mixed up. Hold on. After Infinity Gauntlet was Warlock and Infinity Watch.
Right.
And that led up to Infinity War. And they had another series too, right? Like a mini-series, The Surfer and Adam Warlock Resurrection mini-series. Yeah, none of that stuff has been collected in omnibus format.
So I'm looking at the Guardian Solo Classics, and it has the first appearance of, Groot, the first two appearances of Groot, first appearance of Iron Man, and then it looks like it's basically the entire Captain Marvel run of all the Thanos, the original Thanos War stuff, which leads into the Avengers annual, the Marvel 2-in-1 annual. So I think most of that stuff he's looking for might be in that Classics omnibus.
I don't know why he left. I think there were some creative differences.
He said the book he was working on about Thanos was the exact same idea that Donny Cates came up with. And since Donny Cates was publishing it, that he felt his vision wasn't needed at Marvel.
Damn.
So that's why he left.
It's got to be difficult being a creator. I know we've gone on a long time. I just this little thing to add. It's got to be difficult being a creator that has worked on these characters for so many years. Chris Claremont comes to mind. So Chris Claremont had this wonderful idea that if Marvel had not pissed him off, that by X-Men 300 he was going to kill Wolverine, and then bring the character back. The Hand was going to bring him back and make him an assassin, and start going after the heroes. Now, that story probably sounds familiar to you guys because that was the same fucking thing that Mark Millar did in Enemy of the State. So, as a Chris Claremont fanboy, I was like, wait a fucking minute, that's the same idea Chris Claremont had. I read it in a Wizard interview. So, as a creator, you got to sit back and you got to be like, man, that's my idea this guy's running with. And that guy actually is writing Thanos instead of Marvel just kind of giving me these little one-off graphic novel projects to keep me around.
And apparently Jim Starlin's offered many times to do an ongoing Thanos series. And they were just like, no, that's okay, old man. Just stay over here where you can be ignored.
Well, and that's the way that they treat Chris Claremont, but at least Chris Claremont, I think, has a lifetime contract with Marvel where they have to pay him whether he's working on anything or not.
Apparently that's the rumor, but yeah.
That's what I've always heard. That's kind of sad, right? Like, I don't know.
I mean, isn't that more or less, unfortunately, the way society treats old people in general, where it's just like, okay, just go ahead and go to this old folks' home and play checkers and color until we forget.
Not old people. Look at the way they treat Frank Miller. That guy could write shit on a fucking paper and they'd still pay him millions to come back.
They do. It's called Dark Knight.
Yeah, that's where I was going with my joke. That's what I'm saying. It's not all of them. It's just some people. It's weird. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of creators get treated unfairly. I think we can all agree on that.
No, that's a fact. There's no way around that, unfortunately.
Any of you guys Moon Knight fans? What comics would you recommend reading besides Ellis and Lemire run?
I liked Charlie Hudson's take on Moon Knight.
That's the only other one I've read.
He did the run.
That's the David Finch stuff, yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good. And then the original Stephen Grant stuff was solid too.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know who wrote it, but I really enjoyed the original Moon Knight Mark the Spectre series. That stuff was really fun.
And probably had a lot to do with the artwork too. Now those are all available in hardcover and I think trade paperback.
I've heard good things about Bendis and Malief's Moon Knight stuff, but I'm not a big Moon Knight guy, so I was gonna read it.
I'm not a big Bendis guy, so I did not like it. Is that all the questions?
We have a favorite Tarantino movie.
Why don't you guys go first?
Kill Bill Volume 2.
I love both of those. I love Pulp Fiction.
That's a good choice.
I'm gonna go From Dusk Till Dawn.
Well, that was Rodriguez.
Oh, it was Rodriguez. Okay.
He was in it, and he produced it.
Okay.
Man, it's so hard. I really like a lot of them. I'm gonna go with Jackie.
I have a hard time choosing between Reservoir Dogs and Kill Bill Volume 2.
I'm gonna go with Jackie Brown. I love that soundtrack, and I love the cast.
I've never seen it.
That's good. Reservoir Dogs.
It's not one of his great ones, but it's probably my favorite one. So many good ones, man.
Oh, what was the latest one he did?
Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight. That was really good.
Yeah, I saw that in 70mm. That was awesome, dude. Great fucking flick.
I haven't seen Pulp Fiction in a long time. I saw it. Last time I saw it was probably about 10 years ago. A theater out here had it on film. It was like this old, shitty, scratched up film. And there's just a lot of for me, a lot of just kind of like slow, boring parts to that movie. I don't know what it is.
I think I'm going to say that was my favorite. Pulp Fiction. That's one that I can see over and over. I loved it the first time I saw it, and I can always re-see it. Inglourious Bastards was great too.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard to talk about Tarantino without talking about all his films.
Yeah, right.
Kill Bill, I think it's a great amalgam of all these films that I enjoyed. That obviously he's a fan of, like Sonny Chiba films, and then like the Pinky Violence stuff. It was so good, and it was everything put together. And I'm like, shit, what a fun movie.
No, I really like the second one better. Just the whole, there's just so much more dialogue, and it was so much more character driven to me. The second one, I love it. Just the whole talk about Superman versus Clark Kent.
Oh, what an awesome! And to have the fucking what's his name, Kung Fu there.
Yeah, before he jacked himself off to death in the closet.
So, hey, there's nothing wrong with fetishes, whatever. My wife and I went to see Kill Bill 2, and that was this is so fucking weird, but I forgot about this. That's the movie that made her decide that she wanted a kid.
What?
I know, it's so weird. Like that's my wife.
About that, that's weird.
She because of the ending, she said, "I want to know what it's like to love something that much, to have to go through all this stuff." And I thought that was really pretty. So that was before, like, we were married at the time. No, it was before we got married. So I'm like, oh man, definitely having kids. Like, yeah, but that's what she said. She said, I don't know what it's like to love something.
Roped in.
I was like, that's pretty deep, man. To get that out of a Tarantino movie, because the whole time I'm like, what? And then when she explained it, yeah. Oh yeah, that whole argument. They're talking about the tipping scene. I love Steve Buscemi's tipping scene. The whole talk about tipping. I don't tip.
Yeah. Oh, I was a waiter at the time when I first saw that movie, and I was totally all about, that guy being a total dick about not tipping.
Yeah, what do you guys think about this rumor about him doing Star Trek? A Star Trek movie.
Sure,
That's
whatever.
An interesting rumor. Can't imagine
is the right choice of words, my friend.
I don't know. I like it when he does his own stuff more. Really, I mean, he hasn't really done much of any other people's stuff, but I could just see that being such a conflict of his personality and his just his achievements as a movie maker to do somebody else's stuff and to kind of be at the control of producers and a studio and things like that. With his movies, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Either you let him do it or you don't. So I think he's gonna be. That sounds like a hindrance to me.
I don't know. Money talks, and he's at that age where maybe he wants to try a creative license. So maybe he's done telling his stories.
Cool.
For now. So it'll be interesting to see.
I hope we get that fucking Kill Bill like unrated in one pack.
I want that Kill Bill 3. He said that he set up that little girl to do. He said if he ever told that story, it would be about the girl that what was her name? Shit. Vivica Fox's character.
Oh, right.
Black Mamba?
No. What's her name was Black Mamba? Uma Thurman. Remember that whole speech? I should have been Black Mamba.
Right.
Yeah, because she kills her in front of her daughter, and Tarantino said that if he ever made a volume 3, it would be about her daughter getting revenge.
Oh, she said it's okay, I understand if you come after me. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
No, but they were supposed to release like.
It's
Kill
released
Bill,
overseas. Just not here in America, because we're too much of a pussified moviegoers, I guess, to show that much violence. But you're talking about the uncut, colored, violence.
The uncut where she pulls out the eye, it doesn't turn black and white or whatever.
Right.
Because that really.
I mean, that's about the only thing you're missing, though.
Yeah. Whatever.
So is that all the questions? We answer everything?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Okay, then. Gabe, where can they find you?
You guys can find me here on YouTube as Gabe Infinity Watch. Gabe Infinity Watch as well on the Instagram. Check it out there. And if you're ever in Vegas, come say what's up to me in person at Torpedo Comics.
Awesome. Omar, how about you? You have your card with you?
No, it's okay. You guys can find me on my channel. It's called Near Mint Condition. We put on a show every week. I can also be found on the OmniBros, or the hell do we collect again? Omnibus Collectors group, Facebook group, where I'm with these fine gentlemen.
Yep.
And you
can find me there too under my government name.
You can find me, OmniDog, on YouTube at OmniDog's Vault. And you can find me now on Instagram. Doesn't have Instagram, OmniDogs_Vault. OmniDogs_Vault, where my daughter runs it for me because she's a control freak. Okay. Thank you for watching, all our viewers. This was great. And we got a lot accomplished. We talked about a lot of good stuff. And we will see you next time on the OmniBros show, which is this coming Thursday, which we don't have a topic for yet. But
yeah, because it's not 20 minutes before the show starts.
Right. So we will be signing off now. Peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you very much for watching.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, bitches.